Well, they've gone and done it. Disney did it again with absolutely no warning, I guess. 24 hours warning, not even that. They have gone and dropped what? 2025 packages. No, seriously, y'all, this is months ahead of last year, which was a month ahead of the year before that. So what are we going to do about it? We didn't have the ramp up time. We couldn't create the wait list and the excitement, but there are still ways that you can use this in your marketing. And today, that's what we're talking about. So if you want to know more about how to market 2025 Disney packages because of this recent drop, keep listening and let's dive in. Hey y'all, and welcome to the Social Takeoff Podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Hay-Smith. If you have found yourself going down a scroll hole of Pinterest, Google, and YouTube looking for great ways to market your travel business, but you've found nothing but frustration there, you've landed in the right place. As a travel agent, what I loved most was marketing my business, and I succeeded in it. That's why I became a marketing expert for the travel industry. And now I spend my days teaching travel agents and agency owners how to market their business on social media and beyond. So if you're ready to grow your business using social media and other marketing tactics, buckle up and let's take off. Did y'all know there's a planner out there that is made just for you, the travel agent? The Happiest Things Collective has created their planner for magical travel agents, and it is amazing. And why wouldn't it be? She's a travel agent herself. This thing has a place to keep track of your clients that are traveling. It has a place to keep track of quotes, who has final balance due. All the things that you need to create a smooth client experience and keep those clients happy so they become loyal clients. That's right. We're getting them into the loyalty phase, right? This comes in a physical and a digital version, and I'm telling you, you're going to love it. And for even more magic, you can sign up for their monthly subscription. This also comes in physical and digital versions, and you'll get amazing stickers and goodies every single month that are going to help you grow your travel business. And starting right now, I am partnering with the Happiest Things Collective to bring a monthly social media challenge to everyone inside their subscription. So go to happiestthingstravel.com, get on their subscription, get your planner, and make sure to use code KELLY15, KELLI 15 for 15% off your purchase. All right. My mic's giving me a hard time, y'all. Sorry. Okay, let's just talk about it. The elephant in the room, which is not even an elephant in the room because, well, I guess it is an elephant in the room, but we're not ignoring this elephant. It is actually happening. It's right in front of our faces. Disney dropped 2025 packages today. Y'all, this is so early. Like, back when I was planning Disney vacations, it was like June, middle of June when they would release 2024 or the next year, right? It was not until June. Last year, well, in 2021, they released it early, but I think that was due to all of the chaos of 2020. And I really did not expect them to keep getting earlier and earlier. And then last year, they released it in May. I was literally sitting in the Edge conference in like a full-blown main session, and we get the email, and it was like all different things. And they announced that dining plan's coming back and all of this stuff. And that was in May. And then they did give us a week, right? Like we had a full, maybe it wasn't a week, maybe it was like 5 days, but we had multiple days to start a wait list, to build excitement, to market it. And then now this year, they're going to tell us in 24 hours, not even, that we are dropping 2025 packages. And here you go. I wasn't expecting that at all. This was complete out of left field, in my opinion, and I don't like that they gave us less than 24 hours notice, but there ain't crap I can do about it. It's Disney's world. As a travel agent, we are just living in it, and we got to do the thing. So now we got to see what marketing plan can we put together. I actually had a subscriber chat going yesterday when this dropped and everybody was talking about it, like, what are we going to do? And then there was some confusion. Could you actually post about it yesterday? Everybody was posting about it, but the content and Disney copyright said not to post it until today, but there wasn't really a clarification of you got to do it yesterday or today, whatever. So, and I made the statement in my subscriber chat, I don't think it matters whether you posted yesterday or today. The only people who were jumping at it were people who had already been coming and telling you they wanted to go in 2025, which is one of the reasons why I like the waitlist, right? Because I've shared this before on here. I used to do events on package release day or weekend, and host events and have people come to get their quotes and book in person and stuff like that. It worked really, really well. But this 24-hour thing has just kind of thrown me for a loop. Again, I'm whining about it. There's nothing we can do. I'm just venting to you all who understand. Anyway, we have to create a content plan, and we did not have the time to put it together. So let's talk. Today's podcast that got pushed was about content pillars, which I will tell you all, I have really been anti-content pillars until I learned a better way to use them. So look out for that episode next week. But this would be when you talk about those. And if you watched my live on subscriber chats last Friday, I gave a preview to the podcast, and I talked about a pillar being initiative. And this would be an initiative. This is, you want to capitalize on the excitement. So you've got to have a content plan, and you've got to build this into your strategy, but you have to do it strategically. It cannot simply be conversion content yet. Okay. There's a couple places we can be conversion, and that we're going to talk about that. But at first, it's got to be a awareness and consideration type of content, because unless you have been talking to someone, they don't normally jump off the ledge and go, oh, they're releasing it today, I have to book today. They have to have been considering it prior to the fact that they are going to book immediately. So that's why I said yesterday, I don't think it matters if you posted yesterday or today, because the only people you're catching in that net is the slim margin of people who were waiting on that drop. I'm going to go in 2025. As soon as it releases, I'm going to book. That's not the mass majority of people. Even the majority of people who want to take their kids next year don't care to do it on the day that it goes. Now, if we had had the week to ramp that up, to create events, to reach out to people, let's get on my list. Usually I even start telling people to get a list started in early May and talking about it, because we know it's going to release at some point around that time period. So we're able to walk them through 2 stages, awareness and consideration, to get them to conversion when it drops. We didn't have that this time. So it's not going to be the same as every other year. Again, let me repeat that, because I know that I'm rambling, because I am passionate about this topic, because it frustrates me because travel agents, this is their livelihood, and they weren't given a chance to market it in a way that was going to be helpful in converting for them. Okay, let me say this again and try to do it in a little bit more straightforward way. Every other year, we have been able to guide people through the process of awareness and consideration before the drop of the next year's packages. So we were able to get them to conversion. I will say this, however, it is still wave season. And so conversion may come a little bit easier. We are in the throes of wave season. So maybe that will help to get you there. But I looked it up today. We know that on average, and you will have your own averages. Your clientele will have their own averages. Your agency and who you whatever will have your own averages. But right now, on average, people are booking Disney 6 to 9 months in advance, 9 to 12 at the most. not that there's not outliers, but on average, it's like 6 to 9, 6 to 11 months. And we are still in 2024 in 9 months. 10 months from now is December. 9 months from now is November. So people are still in the window of booking 2024. So don't think you don't want to stop marketing 2024 because you are still able to book that. There are a lot of people who are booking for fall break right now. There are a lot of people who wait until these months to book their summer vacations. So like you're going to have to do two things at one time. You're going to have to talk about this year and next year. And here's the other thing. You don't want to scare people off by telling them how great it is to book next year and be like, well, maybe we won't go this year. Maybe we'll just push it off till next year. Right? So you're going to have to walk a fine line of understanding why, like, I would only talk to the people right now who were already planning to go in 2025. You can't simply forego this year. I mean, it is Friday is March. That is it. Like this is boggling my mind because most of the time until like April, May, people are still booking for 2024. And so you cannot stop marketing this year to like put all your focus on next year. And that means you can't go so hard and heavy on why you should go ahead and book 2025 now and make it seem like all the rose gardens in the world. And so anybody who is going to book in the summer or the fall or the winter of this year is like, well, you know what? Let's just wait and we'll go next year because of all of these reasons, right? Maybe you create we're going to talk about some different content to create, but like, let's make sure that you are not putting all of your thoughts in the new year. Okay. So I'm going to try to get off that soapbox. It's hard for me because this is just and honestly, I haven't looked. I should look. And if you are listening to this, I want you to come to my DMs and tell me if you have looked. I should have looked before I started this. I'll look while I'm on here. I don't know if I can change. I'm recording. Can I change things? It looks like I can. Cool. Let's look it up. What I am doing is I'm looking up and to see what the availability for fall is. So let's just look at a random week in October because that's going to tell you really what it's going to be like. I'm going to do... All right. So we know that a lot of times, of course, there are too many people trying to book for 2025 right now. So I can't even look at this. Anyway, I'm like on the Space Mountain circle. Ugh. Okay. Anyway. So my point on this is you're going to have to walk a fine line. You're going to have to market to not two different ideal clients. Okay, I've pulled it up. This week is October 13th through the 19th. There is still value resorts. There's deluxe. There's moderate, deluxe. There's another value. There's more moderates. Let me see what's sold out. The only thing that I am seeing sold out is Riviera. It's the only thing I'm seeing sold out. So, and this is in the middle of October, which is in the smack dab middle of fall break. So my point on that is, let's look at the difference in the year. My point on that is you don't want to scare people off who are booking a year from now. And let me just tell you that the first resort that pops up on both of the searches is All Star Sports. It is $10 cheaper next year than this year. Pop Century was $3 cheaper in 2025 than it is this year. So the pricing is almost identical between the 2 months. So right now, there's not a big difference in price in waiting till next year. So that is a marketing piece. Like, that is saying, hey, if you had already planned to go in 2025, now is the time to get that on the books. But if you wanted to go in 2024, there's not a lot of difference in one or the two. So like, you've got to market simply to those planning for 2025. To be honest, am not on our clients going to go hard and heavy on 2025 yet. We will start really pushing 2025 come the end of Q2, middle of Q2, because we are not going to give up sales for this year to go ahead and jump into next year and tell them why the grass is greener on the other side. Like, the idea that we should just push for 25 when 2024 is still available and still right at the exact same price, and we don't have any discounts for that yet. We're just not going to jump ship. So with all that said, what are some things that we can do to market 2025 and 2024 simultaneously? Because you've got to stay the same. So the first one is email. Okay. We need to send out email. And who are we sending it to? We are sending this out to people who have ghosted us. We are going to send this out and say, hey, you requested a quote such and such ago. Just wanted to let you know 2025 has dropped. So if, you wanted to change your dates, whatever, we can still do that. There is still availability this year. Anytime you market 2025 right now, you are still going to mention there are still dates for 2024. It's not too late. Just make, here's what's happening, that kind of thing. Okay. So the first things that we're going to do is send out emails. And I really would focus on those who have ghosted you in the past first. This is one of the reasons why I like, first off, Turns. If you haven't heard of their CRM, Turn, TERN, Travel, they have, when you send out a link for them to like capture whatever it is, like if they're going to capture, you're going to send out the link and then they don't finish filling out your form and they never send it back in, usually the content is just lost. With that Turn system, you have their information so you can market to them later. That's one of the CRM choices that does that. I don't know of any other CRMs that do that. When I was booking travel, I used MailerLite, and to get my quote form, they signed up on my email list, and I had an automation set up so that when they put their name and email in, it automatically sent them an email with the quote form in it and a place to schedule an appointment. And then if they didn't click the button to fill out that quote form request, it continued to send them reminder emails until it finally dumped them into a segment called Quote Ghosts. So if I was still doing that, I would go right now and create a email to that segment of my email list first, because maybe they were like, it's too expensive, I can't do it this year. Or maybe they were like, well, maybe we should just wait till next year, whatever. That's who I'm going to market to first. I am going to create the second thing that I'm going to do. So what I would do, what you need to know about what just dropped and what's new. Those are the two emails that I'm going to send within the next couple weeks. Inside my Facebook group, I am going to, number one, I'm going to create a poll in there, and I'm going to ask when would be your ideal time to visit Disney? 2024, 2025. I'm going to reach out to the people who said 2025 and invite them to an event on, a virtual event where I'm going to go over on Zoom everything that's included in a Walt Disney World package, all the things that are new. That's what I'm going to do there. But I might do the same thing for 2024. I might reach out to them separately and create a different event for them. Okay. I am not going to stop my efforts for 2024 just because 2025 dropped. Okay. There's that. Now, what am I going to do on social? Well, I'm going to focus heavily on stories, and I am not going to create too much profile content centered around next year yet. I'm going to make the announcement, I'm going to share the updates, and I'm going to move on. I am going to have that in my toolbox, that when I am posting the exact same content I would be doing for 2024, I am going to be able to say, now planning vacations through October 31st of 2025. I'm not going to make it look, I'm not going to create content that's like, here's why you should book your vacation for 2025 now. I'm not going to do that. I am going to talk about all of the pieces, and I'm going to let people who are planning for next year know they can do that now. Okay? I am going to push harder for next year later down the road. Just because Disney changed their marketing plan does not mean I need to change mine completely. I do have to be in the world. I do have to announce it's happening, but I don't have to change my plans simply because they released it. Okay? So my social strategy is not going to change much at all, except I can throw that in there. I can throw, you can plan it anytime this year through October 31st of next year. I don't have to focus solely on next year. Now, on my stories, this is where it's going to change a little bit, because stories are a great place to convert. They're a great place to sell. So if I am working on a proposal for anybody, I'm working on building a quote or a proposal for anybody, regardless if it's this year or next year, I'm going to use the words to come out of my mouth that say, and if you were thinking about Disney next year, you can go ahead and get this done so that you have full choice of resorts, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm going to use my mouth to say those words so that they can understand it, but I'm not going to create or talk about solely thinking about next year. Okay? I am going to showcase behind the scenes a lot right now. And again, those words. Now, here is the kicker. We got to focus on service. And this goes from both the posts on your profile and in your stories. We have to focus on the service. And one of the things that I think that you have to focus in on when it comes to a Disney vacation is the price monitoring aspect. The fact that when you lock in now, your price can't go up. So if you were thinking of visiting in 2025, there could be multiple ticket price increases, resort increases, dining plan increases between now and next year. But if you lock in at the price today, if you were thinking about visiting in 2025, go ahead and get it on the books. So you lock it in at today's price, and it can't go up, but it can come down, and explain how you can, if the promotion is applicable to your package, or we can adjust the package to fit the promotion depending on what the best value. Don't say the best price. Don't say the best the cheapest price, whatever the best value is for you. We can make those adjustments at a later date, but you are guaranteed that the price won't go up. It can still come down, but we're going to talk about that not just for next year. We're going to talk about that for now too. So as you're going through here, when a promotion drops, because we all know they will, we're going to showcase that we're changing that price. It may not make a difference for somebody booking now, to book somebody on that promotion, but it may change them the trust or the feeling that they have of, I can book now because she's going to do that for me later, is going to be there. So those are the things that we've got to focus on. But I'm going to tell you where the number one place I am going to talk about 2025 is, if I am a travel agent right now booking Disney. And that's on Threads. I am going to ask questions. I'm going to start conversations. I am going to talk about, who is how old do you think your kid's going to be before you take them to Disney? Okay. When will they turn that? Who has kids who are turning 4 in 2026? Like, if your kid's going to be 3, they're still free. Go ahead and get this book. Like, I'm not going to say go ahead and get this book, but I'm going to talk about those type of situations. I am going to talk about things like that on Threads. I am going to talk about the people who are ultra prepared by having a vacation planned a year ahead of time. I'm going to just make short one-liners on threads, and that is going to be where I talk about 2025 the most until April, May of this year, when people really start pushing for next year. Because again, you're going to have to walk that fine line. So how am I incorporating it into my content strategy? I'm saying this like I'm doing this. How am I recommending you incorporate this into your content strategy? Change up the way you talk about things. Like you can say things like, you can now book your vacation through October 31st of 2025. Rather than saying, here's why you should book now for 2025, we're going to say you can now plan your vacation through 2025. If you were planning on going next year, if that had been on your bucket list for 2025, you can now, get into my inbox and we can start working on that. But I'm not going to give them reasons they should book so far in advance that I push people who may have planned a vacation for 2024 there. And when we get closer, like I would say in March, I'm going to help you come up with a content strategy for 2025. Just because Disney's not just dropping it, we don't have the announcement to say, yay, you can do it now. We can start turning our eyes to 2025, but we don't need to drop everything and stop worrying about 2024. And so I am telling you right now, I am going to add this into my content strategy. I am not going to make it my content strategy, if that makes sense. I am going to be able to change calls to action. I'm going to be able to change, maybe I'm changing a backslide of a carousel where it's now planning Walt Disney World vacations through October 31st, 2025. That would be a great place to do it. Even if you've got a singular post, do a second slide that says now planning Walt Disney World vacations through October 31st of 2025. That's a great place to do it. So it's going to be a subtle infusion of 2025 release. It is not going to be bang, here is all the things. Okay. And I am still going to keep a wait list. I am still going to say, are you interested for 2025? Yes, I can plan that right now, but let's gather some of that. Maybe they're not prepared to go ahead and book right now. Maybe it's a thought process. And so I'm still going to probably keep a wait list and say, hey, have you thought about Disney for 2025? And I'm going to put them on an email list, and I am going to send them some general information in emails between now and April. And in April, I'm going to start creating a marketing initiative for 2025, and I'm going to start getting them involved. I'm not going to leave them out to dry. I'm not going to not acknowledge them. There's always going to be a call to action to fill out their a proposal form and book an appointment with me between now and April, but I'm not going full forced all balls to the wall now. I am going to keep them engaged, keep them talking to me. I'm going to mark them as a lead so I can engage with them on social media. I'm going to send them regular emails, but that they have the opportunity to do that if they want, but I am going to create more excitement and push in a couple months, because maybe they feel like it's way too early. I mean, even if they could make the deposit today, it's not a problem. They just feel like it's too early. So I'm going to kind of ease that in. Just because it's available doesn't mean I have to build my marketing strategy around it. Okay. I think I got it all out. All right. I want to know what you all are doing. Oops, where's my mouse? There it is. I want to know what you all are doing. Tell me what you think about this plan that I have. I know maybe it's an unpopular opinion, but you don't want to throw it all out the window just yet. So let me know in the DMs. Come talk to me. I'm doing a live every Friday, a Get Ready With Me live, and we're talking about a particular social media topic. On Fridays, Inside subscribers, I am always in Instagram, so DM me there. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to leave me a review, because that is another way that I get to keep bringing you content every single week. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, guys. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Social Takeoff Podcast. I'm so glad you were here. Make sure you're following along on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, and pretty much anywhere else. You can find me at Kelly Hayes Smith everywhere there's social. And make sure you leave us a review. That's one way that we get to bring you more content each week. And we'll see you back here next Tuesday for an all-new episode of the Social Takeoff Podcast.